Surviving Reality contains explicit content full of snark and sarcasm that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Reality.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly, and this is a very special episode. Can you give us some breaking news music?
Why do you always do that?
Because I want it.
We're not. There's already music that's playing under this. You can't hear it right now because we're just recording. Just you and me.
Okay, I'm trying to pretend there's some urgency here.
The intro music is still playing. It's still. Can't you hear it, Carly?
There is a lot happening in the world of Welcome to Plathville. Even though the show has not returned yet, we don't know when it's going to be back on TLC.
Boy, I wish they would just save some of this for an actual season, because last season was pretty crap if we're looking at it objectively.
I swear to God, if we have to watch another season where the most exciting thing that they're building up to is the Plath family band playing another show together, and they leave all this shit out,
Plath Stock Part 2.
We'll riot. We'll riot in the streets. Yeah. We'll take it to the TLC offices. No, we won't. I don't want them to think that that's a threat.
Probably not. We'll just go online and be very loud and annoying about, hey, sign on the people from Big City, Big Family, or Big Family, Big City. The New York people.
Yeah, replace these fundies with some new ones.
The buskers.
Well, where do we even start? Because this has been a wild ride over the past week and a half.
Let's go with the context here, because the reason why this is popping off is because Veronica has taken to social medias. She is all over Reddit. She was trying to do an AMA, and then the production company came in and said, whoa, you're under NDA, so no AMAs under NDA. And so they shut that down. But now she's just been popping off on posts, commenting on things in all the different Plathville subreddits.
In her Instagram comments.
She's changing captions. I have a hair in my mouth. This is symbolic of just what's going on. There's a hair at the tip of my tongue, and its name is Micah Plath.
Maybe that was some Mama Plath witchcraft, do you think? Witchcraft is going to come up again.
Witchcraft?
Just get ready for it.
And wizardry.
Did you say Micah and Veronica broke up? That's really the impetus for all of this?
The impotence? Maybe impotence was the...
Not the word I used.
No, not the reason either. Probably.
I don't know.
She didn't give a reason.
Let her pop off with a few more comments. We might learn some more personal things about Micah.
Give it some time, yeah.
Before we get into the details, though, I think we have to have a trigger warning. There is some upsetting stuff that she disclosed in these comments, and then it led to Olivia making a video that she posted on Instagram talking more about her experience with Ethan, which maybe we'll save for the end, because that's kind of the chronological order of things.
Yeah, plus that'll be a real spirit lifter at the end, right before we round out this episode here.
Didn't we predict that Veronica would go scorched earth?
I think she would, right? She just seems like that's the type of person. So it was only a matter of time before they were going to break up, and then she seemed like she just had that pettiness to her, where she's going to go ahead and drag some people in the process.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, that was how we expected that to go. And why did it have to happen in an off season, though?
She must know that whatever narrative is going to be part of this season, she's trying to get ahead of it. Do you think they're going to rip her apart like they did Olivia, where suddenly everything's Veronica's fault?
That seems to be the path that things go. It's just whoever has someone who they're dating in the family, and then, except not KK Ken, we didn't blame anything on him. Well, maybe Mercy Grayson.
Mercy Grace.
Elvis Grayson, Graceland, and Faith, Live, Laugh, and Love. They probably blamed KK Ken for some stuff, but not nearly as much as they probably should.
Let's start there. Apparently, Kim never lived on the boat with the girls, which was something everyone speculated about. They didn't really think that that was what was happening. It seemed like a good cover for the fact that they were most definitely living with her and Ken.
Plus, it's great television to go ahead and put that on TV and say, this is how we're living right now. Man, that's good for the show. And it was. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that, speculating on it, and then ripping it to shreds, because that's basically what happened.
Didn't Veronica say that Kim tried to sell her the boat at one point?
Every time that she came into contact with her, Kim was trying to sell the boat. So what do they always say, Carly? The two best days of having a boat, it's the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Kim learned the hard way.
She was trying.
Also, she's the same person she always was. She just hides a little better behind a few drinks. And white lies. I think that was the second ingredient. We knew alcohol was in there somewhere.
Oh, alcohol's always in the mix when it's Mama Plath.
And KK Ken also enjoyed kicking back a drink, which maybe makes their relationship make a little bit more sense.
They were both pretty buzzed throughout.
Should we just stick on the Kim stuff for now?
Yeah, let's drag her for a little while.
Yeah,
this is fun.
I'm jonesing to get to the Barry
This
stuff,
is good.
But I'll hold back. So Kim... I can't even get the next part out.
It's weird to just jump right in because, yeah, most of these claims, these are all claims that we're taking from Veronica's comments that have been sprinkled about throughout Reddit. So we're taking some of this at face value. Some of this is probably with a little grain of salt. There are some ways that she kind of phrased things or stated different circumstances that were happening that have a little bit of a bias because now she's got a negative view of it here in hindsight a little bit more.
Oh, but I believe everything she said about Kim and Barry.
But I believe most of that stuff is pretty accurate. Some of the stuff about Micah and subsequently Ethan and things that were going on as part of the storyline that she divulges, maybe we'll have to do some fact checking on it.
I hope we see it on TV.
That's going to be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird to jump right into this next one, but this is a Kim Plath belief, trademark, copyright, Mama Plath, Rumspringa, Mumspringa.
I think we all had an idea of where their political leanings may lie, but this one might surprise you.
Well, there's been a turn. Yeah, there's a shift that's happened here.
Miss Kimmy is now pretty sure that Donald Trump is the antichrist, and she's based that off of something that maybe isn't the conclusion that you wouldn't have gotten there this way.
This is another instance of you need to show your work on how you reached this conclusion. And I think you'd be surprised to find some of the answers.
He's too well liked. That is what has led her to believe that this may be the case.
I would say that Kim Plath is probably one of the few people who is jealous of Donald Trump for his likability because he seems to be able to get away with anything. And that's something that Kim really aspires to.
Do you think she's just waiting for the rapture now?
This is what always confuses me, though, is the timeline in the biblical sense. If you are following this recipe and you're going to say that someone is the Antichrist, hasn't the rapture supposed to have already happened before the Antichrist shows up? That's the whole basis of it in Revelation. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. But that was my general understanding.
I'm really bracing myself for the emails and the comments. Also, I just want to make sure that you all know before we get any nasty comments. Nastiness. These are Kim Plath's beliefs. We're just restating what Veronica has disclosed on Reddit.
And according to Google, the rapture, the gathering of believers to meet Christ in the air, is believed by many to occur before the rise of the Antichrist and the tribulation, while others believe it happens during or after the tribulation.
So I guess it's whatever you prefer.
It's whatever aligns with your personal beliefs, and that's what it gets to be.
I need to see Kim doomsday prepping on the boat for the rapture.
Do your blowers work?
She can't leave the dock. She's in trouble.
She's not going to get far, that's for sure.
Okay, let's get to Barry.
Yeah, this kind of goes hand in hand.
It's going to surprise no one. Veronica once got trapped in a basement in a conversation with Barry.
Not like trapped in a basement with Barry, but like she was alone in a basement with Barry, which that scenario, just go ahead and put yourself there. Visualize that. Feel that for a minute.
So you're in a basement with Slender Man, and he starts talking about lizard people and the Freemasons.
Freemasons. So like, well, of course he would believe in lizard people. He kind of is one, a little bit.
That's why he believes that they exist. He's seen the mirror.
It's hard to deny what you are.
I would have so much fun with this conversation.
Who would be lizard people that you would
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, like,
who do you believe to be a lizard person?
How many celebrities does Barry Plath know offhand? His kids didn't even know who Taylor Swift was or Spider-Man.
I don't know if he's going straight to celebs.
It's just whoever personally wounds him in his life.
There's like a toll guy on the turnpike that he's pretty sure is a lizard person.
Because I've never seen him go home or be anywhere else except for the toll booth. I can't imagine someone else having an individual life experience outside of my own.
I'm going to need the producers on this show to start doing their jobs because I need more of this stuff discussed on camera.
I need Barry spouting off about lizard people. I need Kim talking about Armageddon. I need these things to keep the show going. It will keep the show going.
Maybe just leave drinks out because it sounds like they're drinking everywhere. They're drinking in the shower. They're drinking in the closet. They're drinking in the car.
Everywhere Christine wants to be a wife. That is where you can find the Plaths with a drink. The closet one, that one bothered me.
It felt intentional.
Okay, that was a very specific word to use because if you're talking about Plathville and you say closet, what comes to mind?
The prayer closet, of course.
The one and only.
Lydia's prayer closet.
Lydia's prayer closet. So if Veronica is going scorched earth on Reddit and she's typing out these comments and she's using words and phrases that are just these short responses and getting to the point on things, it's like a Jeopardy question. There's only so much real estate that they have to use. So every word is very important. So by saying closet specifically, that feels like an allegation directly towards Lydia.
She said to someone later on, don't let Lydia fool you. She can throw back a few drinks.
And she's not talking about milk. 2% whole milk.
I don't know if I believe that Lydia drinks.
I think Lydia could drink to hide the pain. There's a lot of pain in there. And it's hard. It's hard to bypass all that critical thinking for this long. It really is. You got to kind of just dumb it down.
What do you think her drink of choice is? I don't think she's going with liquor. I think it's like a Moscato. She's getting lit on bottles of Moscato.
It's something, if you're leaving it in the prayer closet, it's got to be something that you can drink at room temp. She's just going to have bags of wine. So like the boxed wine that you get, she's going to take the bag out of the box, the Franzia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
You think it's just sitting in a plastic bag on the bottom of her closet floor?
I think she's in the prayer closet and she's slapping the bag.
Again, show it to me on television. I will be compelled.
I need to see it.
You may be asking yourself, then why did Veronica agree to go on the show? Because when they introduced us to her at the beginning of the last season, we weren't seeing her face. They were just saying Micah had a girlfriend. She didn't want to be on camera. They wouldn't say her name. Or did they say her name?
They didn't say her name.
Yeah, it was just the girlfriend.
Faceless girlfriend.
And then she just showed up a few episodes in.
They all convinced her to show up on camera. Eventually, they wore her down.
That's what it seemed like, but her story is kind of strange. It's that she decided to go on the show.
She has decided to do the show now.
Because Micah was cheating on her.
That doesn't make any sense at all. So this is one of those ones where it's like, this is a rewriting of history.
I would like more information. Because like you said, those dots don't really seem to connect for me. Why further enmesh yourself with these people when he's already been a bad boyfriend to you?
Oh, he was cheating on me. So let's move in together and film on the show and expose our relationship to a national public audience.
Let me just go back to being in my early 20s and stupid, naive. Maybe she thought that going on television, people would see her and go, oh, he's claimed by someone. Because we always thought it was weird that I don't know if it was that they made that combined Instagram, which she has now taken over, by the way, which is the one that she's leaving all the comments on.
She's popping off.
We always kind of thought that maybe she did that because she was worried about the DMs that he was getting and that she wanted to have visibility to them.
That's usually the reason for a shared account, yes. That or so that they could leave different reviews of the Barbie movie.
2 thumbs down, according to the Plaths.
I guess they're just really upset with the representation of platinum blonde people. They were very upset with that, I guess. What would be their reasoning? I can't think of any themes that would really be a hot button issue for them. Thinking through the logic of the Barbie movie. Are there any blind spots there?
Perhaps the general theme of patriarchy is something that they were uncomfortable with being attacked by the narrative of the film.
Yeah, that might do it. Veronica and Micah are not Ken and Barbie, though. Even though Micah does have some Ken energy now and again.
Are you talking about the purchase from her Amazon?
Oh, that is like a man extender. It's not a horse, though. So don't come at me, hobby horse community.
She was trying to explain how she seemed very uncomfortable with her height on the show, that she kept kind of scrunching, bending over, making herself seem shorter. Very a la Monica from Love is Blind, same kind of thing. That wasn't because she was uncomfortable with her height. It was because Micah didn't want to be dwarfed by her. And at one point, he bought lifts to go in his shoes from her Amazon account so that he could stand near her when she was wearing heels. And she posted the screenshot from her account.
To be fair, you could just buy those. And
Who,
then,
me?
well, no, like Veronica could just buy those and then say, look what I have in my Amazon account. I believe it too. I'm just saying, like, the barrier for proof of that is pretty low. But the date of purchase, that might be a little bit more compelling. Because why would she go and do that while they were dating? If it was purchased after the breakup, that's just to be vindictive, is what I'm getting at.
Suspicious.
Mm-hmm. It's things to, kind of be aware of. The marriage thing, though, because, this relationship didn't seem like it was really thriving for any amount of time. It always seemed like a very strange dynamic between them.
I'm shocked that they were together for 3.5 years.
I was surprised that more of the pressure for getting married was coming from the Plath side of the family.
Oh, I'm not surprised at that at all.
It seemed like Veronica was the one who was pushing for this, though, of taking him to look at rings. And like, there was a lot of things on the show this season with them where it did seem like a big part of her storyline that she was kind of pushing this along too. I was worried. I didn't want them to continue down this path at that rate that they were going. So
my guess is production was trying to make it seem like something that it wasn't. Or if Micah and the other Plaths were telling them that there's likely a wedding that's going to happen, they were trying to get this stuff on camera to lead us to it eventually.
Well, Barry was telling Micah directly, like, yeah, it's time to lock that down.
Mm-hmm. There's no way that they were okay with them living together without being married. But it doesn't seem like that was the driving force between trying to get them married. She seems very convinced that it was about getting ownership over the assets that she has, to get 50% of them.
Maybe she should have done a prenup then, if that was the route that it was going to go, if that was the suspicion. But luckily, they didn't even get to that point, thankfully.
The really big thing that came out of this that you may have already heard about because it's being picked up pretty much everywhere is that there was an incident at Lydia's wedding. Lydia just got married in February. And afterwards, it sounds like there was a little after party that Veronica chose not to attend. There were very specific activities that were taking place that just weren't really her thing.
She referred to them as hillbilly activities, hillbilly things. I don't do hillbilly things like drinking and shooting guns, because that was pretty much the crux of what was going on at this after party.
And bashing in your brother's face.
Well, that's just an added benefit, added bonus there.
Isaac and Micah got into a fight?
Isaac punched Micah in the face and rearranged his nose.
It was so bad that Micah had to go to the hospital. And the whole time, Veronica had no idea that this is happening because she went back to a hotel room.
She's 3 towns away.
Nowhere near it.
Yeah.
She wakes up and her boyfriend's nowhere to be found.
She checks his location from her phone and he's at a hospital in Florida. So she starts freaking out because she's like, oh, something happened. Is he okay? Is something wrong? Like, this isn't good.
And the wedding was at the farm in Georgia.
So she's in rural Georgia. Micah is in a hospital in Florida.
Probably Tallahassee.
She is trying to get a hold of people. Nobody's answering. He's not answering his phone. The rest of the family are not answering her either. She cannot get any information. She has no idea what's going on.
Is this when she said they abandoned her? They left her in Georgia by herself? So they all just fucked off.
Well, because, yeah, he went to the hospital, so they were already in Florida. What, is he going to go back and get her from Georgia? He's already back in Florida. He's halfway home. He's not going to circle back.
No one was like, hey, maybe someone should pick up Veronica?
Nope. Did not have that thought. That thought did not cross anybody's mind.
She didn't have a car. She's just in a hotel room And nobody wants to talk to her because nobody wants to address what happened at the wedding. Lydia, poor Lydia, had her wedding night with her husband and wakes up to find out that her brother's in the hospital with his nose nearly ripped off his face.
And Lydia's like, see, I knew bad things would happen if I had sex. It's just all of the...
Oh, that's really going to do a number on her.
Doom and gloom. Yeah, we can't do this anymore. I'm sorry. That was it.
Her husband might be okay with that.
Maybe.
Oh, this part also made me sad that they make fun of him, Lydia's new husband.
Behind his back. And Veronica is suspecting that he's next because we already lost Olivia. We already got Veronica out the door. And now it's going to turn to Lydia's husband.
I'm not sure. I think that they have a thing against the women. That it's an internalized misogyny,
yes.
and that is why they come for all of the girlfriends and the wives.
But they will belittle Lydia's husband. He's going to be like BJ on the
Righteous Gemstones,
where he's just going to get shat on at every opportunity. And as long as you are just the punching bag, the doormat, and we can just wipe our feet on you anytime, then this is good. And that works out. So he'll probably just keep cruising with that and let it roll.
It would probably be best if they decide to, I don't know, do some mission work or like just go very, very far away.
As far as you can get, pretty much. Like a hospital in Tallahassee.
Oh, yeah. The best part of that was that they blamed Veronica for it.
Oh, yeah. It ended up being her fault, even though she wasn't there. She wasn't involved. And
no, she was in her room doing witchcraft.
Oh, well,
performing acts of witchcraft.
Well, that was the thing, was because by the time she gets a hold of people to figure out what's going on, the family has already crafted a narrative and the jury has decided it is your fault.
We wanted to blame Olivia, but we had a really hard time figuring out exactly how we were going to connect those dots. Yeah. So we were the next best option.
It was a stretch. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we had to go with the next best thing. And so that essentially falls to you.
If anyone ever accused me of witchcraft, I would have so much fun with that. Especially fundy people who are going to be genuinely terrified that you are a witch. I would lean into it so much.
If you think that I have the power to make someone punch someone else in the face, do you think I would be wasting my time having Isaac punch Micah in the face? That's bound to happen on its own. If it's going to be my witchcraft and my wizardry skills that I'm putting to the test here, I'm going to go for something a little bit more impressive than that.
So who's up? Who's punching whom? I want a Carrie moment with Little Mercy.
Oh, then that would be,
something
she would have
truly
the
terrifying.
Telepathy. Yeah, that's different than witchcraft, though. I don't know. Get somebody to punch the Pope in the face. Okay, like that's impressive.
Oh no, that's gonna upset a lot of people.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a challenge, though. That's impressive. He's usually in the bulletproof box. It's hard to get in there. Maybe they needed some of those. They needed a Pope mobile for the hillbilly activities after the wedding.
If Veronica and Olivia join forces, like they could be unstoppable.
You just
in
want
the dark magic.
A coven of Plath X's. And then that's what we can have the spinoff show be.
Is that a merch idea? A coven shirt with the two of them?
Yeah, with like doing a seance or something. Yeah, that'd be good.
Glad to see Olivia's not alone in this now, though, with the witchcraft accusations.
Yeah, it was Veronica who was completely alone in the middle of Georgia, stranded with no idea what was going on. Eventually, she did find out what was going on. She found out it was her fault. She was left in the middle of Georgia, no ride home. Then her mom had to go to her house and then catch Micah and Ethan trying to break into the house. I'm assuming this is because they were already back in Florida, so they just went to their house. They continued on to their house.
The details of this, we're going to need Veronica to clear up.
Yeah, this is a little murky.
I believe she had someone change the locks. That's why when he tried to get into the house, he couldn't.
But how would you change the locks unless if you were already on this trip? So like had he moved out and then you changed the locks, but then you're going to this wedding together?
He didn't know that she changed the locks. I think between the time that he was in the hospital and she realized that they all left her fucking alone.
That timeline doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure. But from what I can deduce, at one point she said she had someone come change the locks. And it sounded like they beat them to getting to the house.
Okay, so like her mom went and changed it. Maybe it was like a pass code because I don't think
Maybe.
they changed the locks on the house in
She's
that
a
span of time.
realtor. She probably knows someone who can change the locks in like 35 minutes if she calls them.
Yeah, that's true. Or if it is, like I'm saying, if it is like a passcode one
Yeah,
too,
you can change
like
that.
if Micah didn't have a key, Micah seems to be the type of person who would lose keys a lot. I don't know why I get that vibe from him. So maybe he
Agreed.
does just have a passcode. He didn't even have a key on him. That's what I was assuming, was that he had made his way to the hospital, probably didn't even have his keys on him, and then he just kept
I think
going.
He just left them in the hotel room.
Just left, or wherever his body was strewn about on the
The ground of Lydia's
the fields of Georgia.
farm.
Yeah, the fields of Georgia, that he has lost his keys. And that's where they are now.
They went flying into the woods when Isaac punched him.
Yeah, just dropped it
Airborne.
like he just dropped it like a loot goblin.
So they tried to break into her house.
The cops were called. They tried to get in. They didn't get in. This is just absolutely insane.
There was another piece to this story, or something else involving the locks on the door, where she is currently threatening to sue a locksmith because I guess Micah tried to get the locks changed on the door to her house, and she owns the house. He's not on anything involving the house. So she's very pissed that this company either did it or was about to do it without her permission. So the locks are being changed on the door to her home quite a bit.
Yeah, this seems like a regular occurrence. A lot of people were very confused by the turnaround time, and I don't think sending her mom there to do that in the amount of time of the timeline that was laid out of Micah being at the hospital, Veronica finding out about this, and then changing the locks, like that seemed like very, very quick. Didn't seem to line up, but it might make more sense if she did have people already on standby and ready to go for that.
I don't know. Answer your DMs, Veronica. Maybe you could come on and tell us more.
Check them on Reddit.
We want to know all the details.
That brings us to Ethan.
He was involved in trying to get into her house. So she's not really a fan of him and finds him actually quite scary.
Which is corroborated by Olivia and most of the things that she was sharing now, and she's speaking out about on Instagram.
Her post was very dark, and it may be the first time that she has, without mincing words, been very straightforward about what she experienced in her relationship with Ethan, which she has now come to realize was domestic violence and abuse. It wasn't a super long post, so if you do want to go check it out, it's over on her Instagram. She really describes a very coercive relationship. He was very threatening towards her, both physically and verbally. There were things that she talked about that we saw in some of the episodes, and getting her take on maybe more of the context and the fuller story behind that gives you a little bit more insight into exactly what she was going through, especially towards the end of their relationship.
Well, and very specific things too, where it was included on camera, or interactions that were happening as part of like their divorce, and some of those conversations at their apartment in Minnesota when they were filming for the show. But there were things that he had mumbled to her or had said very low and quiet under his breath that weren't included as part of the show, where he was warning her to be very careful what she says, and when he was getting upset about things. So there were certain parts that would be included as part of the show, other things that weren't. And so she was kind of calling out attention to some of those things as well. Ethan's got a new girl now, though, so it doesn't really matter. He's all squared away.
This is the one that I think he posted about on Instagram.
And Veronica was making sure that everyone is aware that the only reason that Ethan met his new girlfriend was because she's a fan of the show.
Someone who DM'd him from seeing him on the show.
Saw him on TV, wanted to get on there. So I'm sure that's bound for wild success.
You guys, I am alarmed by the number of women in their comment section who want to hop on the dicks of these guys so badly. It's not just them. It's people like Ben from Love is Blind.
Well, it's the same thing of the people who I'm sure are shitting on Olivia at this point too, for her speaking out and probably blaming her for attention seeking, or, oh, because Veronica's speaking out and now you have to come and do this stuff too. It was probably tons of accusations of that kind of intention that's being assigned as well.
Yeah, and what I have to say to that is, yeah, no kidding, she waited until now to say something and be very explicit about what her experience was, because until there was someone else to corroborate it, the people who hate her online were never going to believe it.
And they probably still don't, too, because now they think that you're just being dramatic and you're overselling on this too, because now you have to have an even more crazy story to share to steal some of that limelight back.
It's not surprising at all that this family turned out to be what they are.
Full of the alcoholic lizard people that they are. Oh yeah, and that was Moriah. That was the big Moriah Plath update, was that she and Veronica don't get along, and that Veronica thought it was weird that Moriah just kind of used her and then blocked her and ditched her and never really responded anymore. So they're not really friends anymore. Moriah doesn't really seem like the type of person who's able to sustain a relationship. She doesn't really know how to do that.
I want to say that's the second time we've seen her do it, but then someone on Reddit claimed to have been one of her friends from when they were living in Tampa or Tallahassee. Tampa,
I think.
Who had the same thing happen to her.
Yep, just ghosted. Great support.
Like, as soon as she moved back to live with Barry, just blocked all of her friends.
Didn't exist anymore.
Because she had to concentrate on working on her album, probably.
And they were bad influences, bad hombres.
Oh, God. I'm fighting through this one. This brings up a larger question of should these people be on television anymore? If this is what's going on behind the scenes and we're getting a completely false picture of who they are.
TLC says yes. Yes. They need more airtime. We got to get them back soon.
You're probably right. TLC has made it very clear that they will continue to put people like this on TV if they're making them a buck.
Can't stop, won't stop. I just need it to be part of the show, though. Yeah, we cannot keep the facade of the fake family, the fake and happy, go lucky, everything's bright and shiny. Don't want that. I'm not here for that.
They're going to have to explain what happened to Micah because he's going to have physical injuries.
I want you asking questions. Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to come up with a great reason why that happened. He was tuning his bass and the string snapped and it flew up and hit him in the nose.
You think it'll be like his Heather Gay moment where he doesn't reveal for 3 seasons who hit him?
Even though we already know exactly who did it. It's very clear whose evidence, because also simultaneously that same exact episode, Isaac walks in and his hand is in a brace as well. Oh, that's unrelated. I was golfing. I was doing my flight simulator and the joystick, I got carpal tunnel. That's what happened.
Who knows what the next season is going to be?
I need production to just ask Kim questions until she storms out in a rage. You need to break these people on camera. That's what you need to do now. They have proven their true colors. Now they do not get the respect of privacy anymore. You need to put them on blast and continue to do that until they cancel the show.
Yeah, you can't be messy off camera and then come on and pretend you're a completely different person.
Squeaky
this is supposed
clean.
to be reality television.
Yeah, that's not how we're doing this anymore.
My best guess is that Welcome to Plathville will probably come back after Poly Family airs because it's the same time slot, Tuesdays at 10 p.m. So hopefully over the summer. I'm also wondering if that's why Veronica took to the internet. If she knows that the season should be coming soon, there's going to be a trailer maybe in the next month or so. And she's not going to let them do to her what they did to Olivia.
Get ready, though, because the audience is probably going to turn on you just like they turned on Olivia.
Well, we won't. We welcome you, Veronica.
Absolutely.
To have a voice on our podcast if you would like to be interviewed.
Yeah. Send us an email. Check your DMs on Reddit. Just saying.
That's our little mini update on what's going on with Welcome to Plathville. Again, it is continuing to evolve, so keep paying attention. You got to find Veronica on Reddit and you got to check out her comments section and see. Because she is typing away every chance she gets.
There's no stopping it.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.